What's up YouTube? It's Deanna from Windy City Vape Reviews, and today we're going to take an up close and personal look at the Snow Wolf 200 watt version 1.5. So we will dive down, get up close and personal with it, then I'll take it back up top, we'll take it for a vape, and I will give you some pros and cons. Okay, so we are going to take a look at the Asmodus Snow Wolf 200 watt temp control device. This is the version 1.5. It is made by Lysimo and Asmodus, but they usually just call it Asmodus. So there's some information. You can pause if you'd like to read it. I will not read all of it right now. It's a nice little box. You take off the cover. You have the user manual and the warranty card information, and then your QR code. And this is the user manual. Goes from 5 to 200 watts, output voltage range 0.5 to 7.5, battery voltage range 6.2 to 8.8, 218-650 high drain batteries, temp adjustment range from 100 degrees to 350 Celsius and 212 degrees to 662 degrees Fahrenheit. Atomizer ohm range 0.5 ohm to 2.5 ohm. Supports regular Canthal and nickel wires. Just some information about your batteries. Max power is 200 watts, low voltage protection, input high voltage warning, reverse battery protection, temp control adjustment, low resistance protection, output short circuit protection, and overheating prevention. Tells you how to install the batteries, turning the device on, locking and unlocking the device, wattage mode and adjustment, temp mode and adjustment, system hibernation, battery voltage and change, initial resistance checking and resistance range, atomizer removal checking, atomizer initial resistance checking, fire duration, system protections, and then just some tips and more warranty information. So this is how it comes out of the box. As you can see, it is actually an extremely mirror finish on there, so I'm trying not to get all kinds of crazy shots of the camera back onto this. It is a magnet, fingerprint magnet for sure. You can actually already see it over here, and I've tried cleaning this several times. This is your fire button, your up and down buttons, battery panel on the back. This is your 510 connection. It is spring loaded. Let me see. And I do believe it is plated. I'm not sure if that's copper plated. It's pretty stiff also. I've had this for several months, so you can kind of see at the top some of the atomizers when I've screwed them down have kind of like scratched it a little bit. But other than that, not super crazy as far as any damage to it. I do keep a silicone sleeve on it, so try to keep it protected. So to install your batteries, you just have this little lip here that you pull up. These are your vent holes for your battery venting if that should happen. Snow Wolf 200 watt, the Snow Wolf 200 watt on the side. Take the battery door off, and the inside is pretty much a fingerprint magnet as well. So you have your battery ribbon. They do show the negative and positive, so it makes it easy when you are installing. Pop it in, fold the ribbon over, and then this one goes plus side up, fold the ribbon down. You do have magnets up here at the top and then down at the bottom. Just snap it back on. There really is no battery door rattle. I mean, that's really pushing it with my finger, but as you can hear or not hear, very little button rattle. Nice and clicky buttons. The only thing I wish that they had made these a little bit further down, because I tend to hit these when I'm going to fire. If I'm not really paying attention, I just grab the mod and go to hit it really fast, sometimes I'm actually controlling my wattage and not firing. So it's 5 clicks to turn it on. Now, if this does not come across on the screen very well, I do know that for some reason this screen, sometimes it will look like it's jumping, but it does not do that in person. Look, it's like dirty already. So when you turn it on, it will show if you are in power or temp control mode, your wattage, output, your resistance, and your voltage. If you try to fire, it'll say check atomizer. So I am going to throw on my Smock TFV4. I do have a dual build in the RBA, the rebuildable coil. Let's see if I go to hit it. Oh, see, normally it will ask me, is this a new... I don't know why it didn't. It will typically ask you, is this a new new atomizer? And then you click yes or no. Up for yes, down for no. And then I believe it asks you if this is a cold coil, because, you know, you should be putting it on there when it is cool and not warm. I'm trying not to get the camera shot in here. Sorry if I'm moving around a lot, but alright, so it's reading at a 0.26 ohms, and I have it at 42 watts right now. It shows the volts when you do fire. If you want to lock it, you hit the wattage up and the power button at the same time, system locked, and then unlock. So when you have it locked, basically you cannot fire, change your wattage, or anything. There is no way to lock your settings in and still be able to fire, which is something that I don't care for. I wish it did have that. That would kind of solve me hitting these buttons instead of the fire button sometimes. But, you know, it is what it is. So again, to unlock... No, I guess I locked it. The up button and the power button. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. For temp control, basically what it does, when you put the atomizer on there, it will automatically go into temp mode until it recognizes that it's a Canthal wire. If it does know that if you have a nickel wire on there and it does recognize that, it will put it into temp control mode. I don't have any nickel coils right now. I had tried to order some from my Crown Take a couple weeks ago, and the company I ordered from was actually out of them. I just reordered them the other last night, day before. So I will have them in shortly, but honestly, I do really like the temp control on this device. I have the Smock Treebox 75 watt temp control, and I didn't care for it at all, and I thought maybe at first that it was just, you know, temp control and nickel coils in general. But then when I tried it out on my Snow Wolf, I absolutely love it. My only complaint with this would be that it does not do titanium or stainless steel, so, you know, you're stuck kind of with nickel only. They are coming out with a version 2 pretty soon, so I'm hoping with that one they will add the titanium and stainless steel on there as well. Personally, I do not really vape it over 90 watts. That's not why I didn't get this, because it goes to 200 watts. Because quite honestly, it doesn't really do 200 watts. And a lot of the devices out there that say they do with dual 18650 batteries, it's not 100% true. Once this gets over, I believe, 150 degrees, it will pulse. So it kind of pulses to get to that 200 watts. And quite honestly, I really don't know how anybody can vape it that high to begin with. I mean, 90 for me, depending on my build. If I have the hive wires they ohm out to like a 0.11, somewhere right around there. At 90 watts, it's warm, but it's not overly hot. I could go higher, but I don't really enjoy it like that. So, but if you are into vaping over 100 watts, this device is definitely a very nice device. It's very, very heavy, and I don't know if you've ever felt the Smock tree box, or not the tree box, the Smock TFV4 tank, but this is the original one, and it is a beast. Now this is a 24, I believe, 24 millimeter tank, so it does kind of hang over the edge just a teeny tiny bit, but I mean, for me, it's not that noticeable, so I really don't mind. Really, there's not a gap in between, and I have not had any problems with a gap in between any devices sitting on there, and again, that's probably why it kind of scratched the top a little bit. Not an issue so much for me. Super shiny, super good looking. I mean, that's really one of the main reasons why I got it, other than the fact that it's a dual 18650. Because I do have the eLeaf iStick 100 watt, which I absolutely love. That's one that I use on a daily basis. This one is more kind of for at home, or if I'm going somewhere where I'm not afraid I'm going to drop it, because, you know, like I've said many, many times, I do have a case of the dropsies, and I did drop it off of this table at one time. Luckily, it was on carpet, so nothing really happened to the mod itself, and of course, I did not have my sleeve on it at the time. But, you know, I don't use this enough to actually say what it would be like in the real world on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you are not using the device, after 5 seconds the screen will dim, after 10 seconds the screen will go off, and then after about 20 minutes it goes to sleep. And the issue that I have with this is when you do wake it up and you go to vape it, now it's not been off long enough, but when you go to vape, it takes a few seconds before it'll start reading properly, because what it's doing is checking to make sure to see if you're in temp control or power mode. It's checking the resistance. So yeah, that is another issue that I kind of have with that. I can see when I'm putting the atomizer on for the first time, or if I have the device turned off, like when I put it in my pocket or my purse, I completely turn it off. I do not lock it. I just don't. I don't do it with any of my devices. I actually do turn them off completely when I put them in my pocket. I can see when I turn it back on like that, but when it's just sitting and you haven't vaped for a while and then you go to grab it and vape it, sometimes it is a little annoying. But one thing I do notice, it does not do that when I am in temp control with nickel coils on there. It fires right up, no issues whatsoever. So that is the up close and personal, and I will up top, show you how it vapes, and give you some more specs on it. So that was the up close and personal look at the Snow Wolf 200 watt. You know, I kind of went over the specs really quick. There are a lot of reviews that have been done on this particular mod, so I'm not going to go over every single aspect of it. I just want to give you like my personal opinion of it. I absolutely love this mod as far as looks. It performs very well. It's very heavy though, so if you are looking for something lightweight, this would not be the one for you. Especially if you have a heavy tank like the TFV4 on top of it, it makes it even much more heavier. For me, I don't mind that at all. I do have the eLeaf iStick 100 watt, and it is much, much lighter than this, and size-wise, it's not too different. Let's see, as far as width, it's a little bit wider. And then as far as this way, it's about the same. Height is about maybe a couple millimeters shorter. Side by side comparison. So, you know, size wise it's very similar, but weight wise this is much, much heavier. It does have the glass panels on the battery door and then on the other side of the mod. So you do have to be careful. If you do drop it, you do not want to break those glass panels. I'm not sure if you could get a replacement battery door, but I don't know how you would be able to replace this side, and that's the side that does have the screen on it. you know, it perform, like I said, it performs extremely well. I use it with my RDAs, with tanks, you know, so I've really put this thing to the test. I do tend to leave this one at home just because of the fact that it is so heavy and I'm afraid I'm going to break it, because it was quite a bit of money. I think I actually paid like $89 for it, and I got it at elevatevape.com. That's elevatevape.com, and I will put a link below in the description to where you can purchase if you wanted to go to their website and check it out. I do know they are coming out with a version 2.0. I'm not sure if it's going to be like the Sigelli T150 where it's going to have the touchscreen, but it does have the larger screen on it. And I'm really hoping that they do change some things on it. I do know that they are going to put the atomizer a little bit more in the center versus towards the front. With my iStick, the fire button's on this side and it is placed on this side, so it's kind of easy. This one sometimes feels a little awkward. I mean, you can hold it this way and fire it, but I prefer to hold it this way. Nice bright screen on there. It's really easy to see, so I don't have any issues with that. Like I said, nice clicky buttons, although again, I do tend to hit these two buttons sometimes instead of my fire button. Could just be me. But I think on the version 2.0 they did place these two buttons further down, so maybe that is a complaint that other people have had as well. So, you know, I absolutely love this one. I would definitely go out and purchase it again if something were to happen to it. But with the version 2 coming out, I might wait and get the version 2. Another thing that is a con for me, I do not like that I cannot lock in my either my temp or my wattage and still be able to fire. Either it locks the entire mod so you cannot fire or do anything, or it's completely unlocked, which again is why I keep changing my watts or my temperature, and I always have to constantly check it. Not a huge deal because even if you hit it, you know, it's not going to change it that much. Now when you're first scrolling up, it does go in 0.1 increments, I think until you hit 50. Just see. And then it goes by 0.5, and then I believe once you get over 100 or over 150, it goes up in 1 point increments, so that, you know, it does go pretty fast. Overall, I absolutely love it. I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something that's, you know, not just functions well, but looks really, really great. And if you do want to protect it, I got some silicone sleeves on fasttech.com, and it's fasttech.com. They were, I believe, like $3 and something cents. It came with two. I'm going to show you the blue just because on the black one, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but there is like a little lip kind of that hangs over when you put it on the mod. And it's not just with my TFE4, because I do know that this is a 24mm tank, but even with my 22mm tanks and RDAs, the little lip kind of folds over and hits my tank or my RDA. And I'll show you kind of how that looks. I don't know how well you can see it, but it does kind of bump the tank. And it's not so much of a problem with the tanks, but when I have my RDAs on here, if I over drip and it does get liquid, I'm always afraid that the liquid is going to go down and then get down into the, you know, battery door and fry the mod. So what I did with my black one, I just kind of cut off that little lip so it just kind of comes up to the edge of the mod, and I like it a lot better. But as you can see, it has your fire button, your up and down buttons. The front has the Snow Wolf logo. It has the cutout for your screen. And then it has the wolf on the back, and then on this side, it's, I think, upside down. Just says the Snow Wolf 200 watt. So I do use mine with my silicone sleeve pretty much most of the time, even when I'm at home, just because even with carpet, I'm just so afraid of damaging this one because, you know, like I said, I could have bought just about 3 of the e-Leaf sticks for just one of these. So that is about it. I don't think I have any more pros or cons. I, again, highly recommend this one. If you wanted to wait for the version 2.0 to come out, just to see, like I said, it is going to have the larger screen, but I don't know if it's going to be a touchscreen like the Sigelli T150 TC. And I'm hoping with the version 2, again, that they add the titanium and the stainless steel for temperature control mode. And, you know, when they say temperature control mode, it's not so much that you're controlling the temperature, but you're limiting the temperature. So if I have it set for 450 degrees and I'm vaping on it, it hits that 450 degrees, it's going to go ahead and back it down a little bit so that it doesn't get too hot. And I personally have not experienced burnt coil or burnt wick. I haven't had dry hits on it when I use it with my UL crown. With the nickel wires, I have not tried the smoke ones, or smock nickel coils in there, but with the UL crown ones, it vapes fantastic in temp mode. So that is all that I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more news and reviews. And until next time, I hope you have a great day, and stay calm and vape on.